Today we're going to be taking a break from finishing up the 900 manual swap for a couple of reasons. One, I'm kind of waiting on some parts to not only fix my speedo issue, but I also have a couple other little things I need to look into up top here that I haven't had a chance to fix yet, and quite frankly, I kind of just want to take a break from. Instead of waiting on that, I wanted to tackle a couple of, I guess you could say, cosmetic issues that this car has. Now, first off, obviously it still has some body damage here. There's this dent on the hood right here. There's some paint fade on the hood. There's the paint fade on the roof and the hatch, as well as some other parts like here, you know, some little dents and things like that, just all around the car because, well, it is 35 years old. But a couple of the big ticket items that we actually will be addressing today are, one, the mirrors. You can see that both of my mirrors, this one is worse than the driver's side, but they shake around like this as I drive, and as a result of that, they're kind of completely useless. There is a way to fix these mirrors that involves taking them off and kind of taking them all apart. Fixing what I believe is a metal clip in here to stiffen this back up. That was going to be my initial plan until a 900 showed up at the junkyard. Good news is the 900 at the junkyard's mirrors were, well, it's kind of hard to show you because it's not actually attached to the car, but they're stiff. They don't move. The problem with these two mirrors, unfortunately, is they've kind of seen better days cosmetically. This one has a pretty big nick in it. I guess it's not really a nick, it's more just some paint transfer from when something was hit. And all of this over here is all faded. Now, I'm sure there's a way to pop off these caps and swap them, but I don't think I'd be able to swap this part right here. So what we're going to be doing instead is just spray painting them black. So you can see this one's not as bad as the passenger side one, but this is obviously still all faded. And it kind of sucks too because the one on this mirror is just about perfect. So after we do that, second thing we're going to be doing, a little bit simpler in nature, but that is going to be swapping out this tail light here. Also grabbed that tail light from the junkyard, but as you can see, this one is cracked on the side here. There's also a bunch of mounting points for it are broken, and it kind of just looks crappy. So this is something that I've been waiting to do as well. I figured now that we're kind of taking a pause on the manual, or not taking a pause on the manual swap, but taking a pause on finalizing it, that we can go ahead and get to it. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and start masking this off, and we'll spray paint it. Probably applied about 5 or 6 coats on this. I did about 4 with the position that you originally saw where it was sitting on the ground, and I did the last 2 or 3 mostly to get the underside here of the mirror, which I couldn't get before, and then also to just kind of get it from a better angle up here. So this is all done. I'm pretty happy with how this looks. What I want to do now is let it dry for about an hour. It's been sitting in the sun already for about 15 minutes. And I have some matte clear coat that I'm going to put on as well. But in the meantime, while we wait for this to finish curing and drying before we put the clear coat on, let's go ahead and tackle the taillight portion of this video. Taillight's looking a lot better, so that's good. One thing you guys might notice is how just gross and kind of faded and everything my bumpers are. So this is something I'll probably tackle in a future video eventually, as well as kind of restoring the front and rear bumpers. I've got some suggestions on how to do that already, so hopefully in time that will come as well.
Born to ride, Mustang 65, got that V8 engine with a fuel injection. Drop the clutch, pedal to the floor, turn that giddy button to a lion's roar. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's blow this down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we own the road. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Red on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Red on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen.
I'd say I'm pretty freaking happy with how these mirrors turned out. The old ones weren't really beat up cosmetically. I mean, they had some little scratches and imperfections here and there just from wear and tear over the years, but obviously the new ones were pretty dinged up, like on the corner right here, on both sides, and just little nicks here and there. So they're not 100% perfect because I didn't do any sanding or anything like that. I just cleaned them and painted them, but they're not supposed to be super smooth to begin with, as you can probably see. So super happy with how this turned out. I made sure to get the I guess you'd call it a gasket in there to prevent any wind noise. So I think now real test is, let's go take it for a drive, get it on the highway, and make sure these things don't wobble. We're at highway speed here. Can see absolutely no movement out of that mirror. No movement out of this mirror as well. This is awesome. Now my speedometer isn't working because I'm currently diagnosing that problem. So that's why, yeah. Long story short, I haven't driven it at all, but the speedometer cable is unplugged because I was running some tests. But yeah, I think with that being said, guys, this car still has so many things wrong with it. And you know, I like to think that this thing's almost done, but it is nowhere near done. But sometimes it's good to take a break, do something a little bit therapeutic, and solve little cosmetic issues with the car. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Take it easy.